Hello, happy Tuesday. Make sure I'm on here. I hope everybody's having a great day. Let's see. Hi Donna, welcome. Happy Tuesday. I'm sorry I'm a little late. Technology, don't like it. But happy Tuesday, you guys. It's so exciting. Today is new catalog day. So let me just make sure I'm not upside down. I am not. Great. All right, so today is happy catalog day. I hope you guys were able to get in there and put your orders in. We were able as demonstrators to pre-order some of the items, so today was a big day for us too, because we could order pretty much everything in the new catalog, except for the one thing that I've been looking forward to and so excited about was the new tool for your Take-A-Pic tool, and that was not available. So I don't know why. As of earlier, I did not see any updates and any information as to why we could not get that, but they have been having trouble with products shipping and all this stuff. You know, it's an ongoing issue, so that could be possibly why they just didn't get it in time, so which is a bummer, which just means I'm gonna have to place another order once it comes in. But I'm excited to get that new tool. So I do have new product that I'm gonna share with you guys tonight. I have a card, and I don't know, this card design came from one of our swap cards, and I don't have it out from my team, and I'm not sure if it was this month's swap or next month's swap, but she made this design, this card. So I don't think I've ever made this design. It's a super easy one. I don't even know what they call it. I think it's like bookbinding or something. Hi Deborah, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Yay. So I guess, I don't know, they call it a bookbinding card, or I don't know. It's super easy. You guys will like it when you see it, hopefully. So I can share the catalog with you today and all kinds of things. If you guys would like a catalog, let me know. I have mailed them all out to my current customers. If you have placed an order within the last 6 months, you have received a catalog from me by now. If you would like to place an order and shop with me, just let me know. I would love to get you out a catalog, and I can get that in the mail for you, no charge. Just let me know that you would like to shop with me, and I'll get that out. The catalog is beautiful, and I'm super excited that we're able to actually shop from the whole catalog now. So, and that's about it. There's not a whole heck of a lot else to talk about other than the new catalog and the new products and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and point you guys down so we can get started. It's a there's a lot of die cutting tonight, but I've already pre-die cut it. But anyways, you guys will see what I'm talking about once we get started. Let me see. Let me just make sure everything's good with the camera here. I think so. I think I'm upside down though. Okay. And let me just push it down a little bit. I hate when it's crooked. There we go. That looks pretty good, right guys? You guys can see that good? All right, so let's see. So last week we did have a giveaway, and because I had a lot of people on here joining me live, and I did mail that out to Mary Alice. I mailed it out Sunday, I think, so you should get that soon. So hopefully you'll get your little present soon. But the stamp set, I want to show you the stamp set first that we're going to be working with. Crafting with You. So this was one that we could pre-order. And if you're a crafter, you're going to fall in love with this stamp set. And what I love about it, and the dies also, is they have for knitting, sewing. It's not just paper crafting, artist. So it's an all-around crafting stamp set for multiple different crafting genres, I guess. It is such a cute set, isn't it? And I love, like, this is just, the sentiment right here sold me on it. Life is better when you're crafting. You inspire me. Sending a handmade hug. I'm always using that. Always saying, you know, my cards are handmade hugs. I just love that sentiment. And then with love. So a lot of cute stamps on here. And I'll show you guys. I'll pull out. I've stamped everything and I die cut everything for you. So you guys can see what it's like all put together. Yeah, the easel, you could do all kinds of things in this easel, like Deb said. You can stamp images in there. You could do all kinds of fun things in there. I love this. You can stamp the easel out and cut it out, or you can just cut the image of the easel out. So here is the stamp set. I have some stamps missing because I'm using them tonight. And then there's all the dies. You get a ton of dies. So you guys can see these dies here. You've got the outline of this, and this, and the flowers, the paintbrushes. You've got some extra little hearts and stars. These buttons are adorable. Basket. This ruler here, which I'll show you guys, but you can use it as the arm of your Stampin' Cut, or your cutter. This is the Stampin' Cutter. This is so cute. So let me bring in the images here. I've stamped them out, and then I'm going to bring in all the dies that go with them. So you can see they're very detailed, these stamped images. Can you guys see them okay? I think so, yeah. So you have the stamp cut and emboss machine. Hi, Amy. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. A sewing machine, and then here's the Edsel. I don't know why it's sounding weird to me now. Easel, that's why. Then the yarn is very detailed. That basket, the paintbrushes, the flowers. So depending on which inks you use, how I stamp these full strength, but I bet if I stamped them off once, the details in them flowers would pop out more. So that's the stamped images of everything in here. So I use different colors too to kind of separate things in this stamp set. So you really have a lot of awesome stamped images here. So let me pull in all of the die cuts because there are a lot of these die cuts. So here's the easel. Once you stamp it and then you die cut it out, and then grab the bigger. So here's just the easel stamped, or just die cut, no stamping. And then you have the sewing machine right here. So you can see the detail, and then it just cuts it out the shape of that sewing machine. Oh, good, Amy. I think you'll be very happy with this set. It's, like I said, it's very versatile for all crafters. And then this one here is like my favorite. It is so super cute. Let me pull this one out. So here's our the paper trimmer. So I just took a piece of DSP and stuck it in there so it looks like you're going to cut it. Isn't that adorable? And then it cuts out on the die. Let me pull the die out so you guys can see. It cuts out this little piece here, which is your cutting blade. So you could cut two of them out, have a scoring and a cutting blade like our typical cutter has. But I just took this, and I just took a piece of black cardstock, and I just cut that little piece out so it would kind of set out a little bit, look a little bit different than with the gray piece on there. But isn't that adorable? I just love that. And then the arm, where's the arm? So here's the ruler piece, which I think is the arm. I don't know if it's meant to be an actual ruler, but it just fits very well on here as the extendable arm that we have to cut our paper with. Oh, get in there. There you go. Isn't that cute? So I love that. This is a very bigger piece though. I tried to fit it on tonight's card, but the card that I'm doing, it wouldn't fit on there. You didn't get the dies, Deb? Oh my gosh, you need the dies. They're so awesome. And then you have this piece here, which is, let's see, get this together. So you have this piece here, which is like, I guess, like this knitting or cross stitching. You have that little hoop frame, and then you can adjust it, and you can make your material taunt. I used to use these when I did cross stitching, but I don't know if you can use them for other things. So it cuts it out in two pieces. You have this circle, stitched circle shape, which you could use that on anything. And then I cut it out in two different colors so that you could see the difference there. So that's like that hooped, I don't even know what that's called. Yeah, the embroidery. Is it an embroidery hoop? I think that's what it's called. So, and it's got those little things you can tighten up. And I used to love cross stitching, but now I can't see anything. So, but I do those diamond dots, which is just as small as cross stitching. So that is this die here. So it cuts it out in two pieces. So when you cut it out, it's going to cut out, if you cut it out, like I cut this in pecan, it'll cut out both sides in pecan, and then I just turned around and cut it out in whisper white again, or basic white. Darn whisper white. So cute. Yeah, the embroidery hoop, that is what it's called, right? Okay. Then you have your stamp cut emboss machine. The detail on that is just awesome. I love when you stamp it how detailed it is. And this has got to be one of my favorites in here, the scissors. So you can cut these scissors out. I put a brad in there, one of our brads that we have. The brad's a little small, but it's not going to come out. And they could be working scissors. How cute is that? So you can see what I did on the back. I kind of just put the brad in and bent it down so it's hidden behind the scissors. So I cut the scissors out twice, once in black and once in our silver paper, silver foil. I don't know what the silver, I can't think of what it's called, but that's what I did. I'll show you guys because I did that tonight. We're going to use the scissors and I'll show you how I got this look. So yeah, Whisper White was such a good name. I don't know why they changed it. So that's there. Those are super cute. Or you can just glue them down together and not make them move. But I thought that was, when I seen these, I said, oh, I'm going to put one of our brads in there. I bet that would be super fun. So there's the scissors. And then there are the flowers right here that they cut out. Silver foil paper. Thank you, Deb. You know how it is when you're on live. Your words get all twisted. That's the basket right here that is stamped out. So you can cut that out. And then you have your yarn, which is right here. I cut that out and I stamped that in Azure Afternoon. So Azure, I don't know, is that how you say it? And then that cuts that out. And then you have this little basket that there's a die for. There's no stamp. You can't stamp this out, but it cuts out that basket. And I don't know if you can see the detail in that little basket. And then the paint brushes. Here's the paint brushes. Yeah, your brain just goes on vacation when you go on live. It's like, oh yeah, I'm shutting off right now. So those paint brushes are very detailed. So fun. And then a bunch of little pieces in here. Let's see. Hopefully I got them all in here. So these are so fun. I don't have any that aren't, well, I'll show you when we make the card. But these are two different dies. So you have the spool and then you have the thread that you can cut out. And you get 4 each of the spool and 4 of the thread. Those are super adorable. So you could put these in the baskets, or like I used mine, well, you'll see the card in a minute. And then you have these two buttons. It cuts out a square button and a little round button. And then the shape of the small flower. And then there's a little heart. It cuts that shape out. And then you have two hearts, two different designed hearts, and then a star and a flower shape. So there's a ton of dies. Hi, Mary Alice. Welcome. I was just saying I mailed out your gift. I don't know if you realized, but you were the winner from last week. I think it was last week's Tuesday's. I pulled the winner. So you were the winner. So your package is on the way. I just mailed it out, so you should receive it sometime this week. So thank you for being here. I'm so excited. So that is the crafting, let's see. It's a bundle, I believe, or a suite. Let's see. I think it's just a bundle. I wish it had paper with it. That would be cool. So it's on page 91 of the new catalog, which debuted today. And there it is. The Crafting With You bundle is $54. You save 10%. Or you can just buy the stamp and the dies separately if you wanted to, if you didn't want the dies or whatever. But what I love about our catalog is they always give you such great ideas. So one of these days I'm going to make a card exactly like the what's in the catalog. So, but there's the set. It's on page 91 of the annual catalog, May 2023 through April 2024. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to show you guys the card. Man, I hope I don't sneeze. Those will go everywhere, those little pieces. All right, so here's the card we're going to make tonight. So it is, like I said, it's a, I don't know what they call it, a book binding card, something like that. So this part here is, it won't come open. This is like your little bend in the card or whatever. And then on the inside I just put in there, life is better when you're crafting, because life is better when you're crafting, right? So there's the card. So let's go ahead and make this card tonight. Super cute. So I have a piece of Moody Mauve, and you're going to want to cut this at 4 1/4 by 11. So you're welcome, Mary Alice. Thank you for joining me and participating. And it's always awesome when people join your lives. It's always not awesome when there's nobody watching you. So this is 4 1/4 by 11. So what you're going to want to do is score it at 5 1/2. You're just going to score it, and then you're going to score it at 4 1/4. So you'll have 2 score marks. Just going to fold it in half at the 5 1/2 mark. Where is my bone folder? Let me get the bone folder. Oh, thank you. I try to get creative. So you fold it in half, and then you're just going to fold it again at that other score line, and then I'm going to score this, or do it the opposite way so it's a nice bend there. So that's it. It's super easy to make this style card. It's, you know, an A2 size card, but instead of it being the full size, you're just going to go ahead, and I'm going to use some liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to glue this piece down. So now what's going to happen is your card here, the inside pieces here and the outside, this is a measurement of 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Same thing on the inside here. Just give that a second to just glue down. Yeah, I notice I get some people to watch my videos, but I don't get a lot of views. You guys are like the only people that I seem to get my regulars. And I know Diane's not here because she is on vacay, so she won't be with us for a while. But I would love for people to tune in, make comments. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to glue this down, but I want to show you the paper that this came from. This came from the 6x6 Bright and Beautiful Designer Series paper. So this paper is super pretty. It's got a lot of fun colors to it. A lot of fun styles. I've used this already maybe once or twice. Lots of just awesome colors. So I use this piece, but I use that side of the paper. And then you can see on this side. This is a great birthday. It actually coordinates with the, let's see. I'm still not too familiar with our new stuff yet, but now that I can look in the catalog and share with you guys, let's see if I can find it. I think it's right up front. It is. So this is the Beautiful Balloons stamp set and dies, and you can get it as a suite collection, so that's where this paper comes in. You also get this pretty fun paper here. You get the stamp set, and then you get the dies if you buy the whole suite, which is $73.50. You do save 10% on the stamp and dies when you bundle them. So if you buy the suite, you get them for 10%. If you buy them together as the bundle, 10%. But if you buy them separately, you do not get that 10% savings. So the, what is that paper called? Let's see. Gold Celebrations is this paper here. It's a specialty designer series paper. I did get that paper, but I haven't opened it up yet to see what it's all about. So, but yeah, this is a pretty fun set. Very colorful, cheerful, that paper. And then it's a great birthday set to have on hand with the balloons, and not even birthdays. You could use it for a lot of different celebrations. Graduations coming up. If you wanted to do scrapbooking, this would be awesome for your graduation pages because you've got the balloons and the celebration and all that stuff. So that would be a really awesome set to have on hand. So I cut that piece of paper. You need one strip here, which is cut 1 by, I think it's 4. Let me just double check. Yep, 1 by 4. So that's going to go on here. And then this piece is cut 4 by 4. Yep, 4 by 4 right there. So I'm going to glue those on right now just so that they're on there. Oh my gosh, Deb, you used 2 packs of that already? You use up your DSP. You do use your DSP up a lot. It is so pretty though. The colors in it. It's just fun, bright. It's happy. So let me pick this up without, oh boy. See what I did there? Oh man. See. Well, I have a adhesive eraser that I'll hit that with once that dries. So this is going to go on this edge here. And you can see that frames it up really nicely. I love how the, this is Fresh Freesia and maybe Bubble Bath, or maybe just Fresh Freesia. But I love how it coordinates with the Moody Mauve. It's so pretty. Then I'm going to put this piece on. So this stuff, a little goes a long way. Really does. Oh, I love those 3x3 note cards you make with the envelopes. I made a bunch of them. You inspired me to make them. And I gave them away to my jewelry lady when she gave me a party, and she did all kinds of work and got me all these awesome free jewelry. So I made her a set of those for her business. I thought that would be so cute to have. And then I think I made my 31 lady them too. If I didn't, no, I'm pretty sure I made her some too. But I just thought that they'd be great for your business to have on hand to give to your customers or whatever. And I love making them. I'm obsessed with making those 3x3 note cards in the envelopes. They're so much fun. So now we have that glued down. Let me get that out of my way. Now we're going to do our stamping. So I got to make sure. So let me get this out here, and then I already cut out, like I said, die cut these pieces. I tried to glue some of them together, but I ran out of time. So I die cut these out of, this is the pecan pie. I am in love with this brown. I was so upset when they took soft suede away, because I used soft suede quite a bit. This is a really nice brown. It is just, I don't know, it's just like the perfect brown. It reminds me of like a deer, like their fur, that brown color. It's like that brown. It's such a pretty brown. So this is what I'm using for, we're going to stamp out, let's see, where's the basket? We're going to stamp out the basket in pecan. I think that was it in the pecan. So we're going to stamp that out. Look at that detail. Beautiful. Stamp set is awesome. So that is all I'm stamping out in pecan pie. They're so sweet. I love when I get your homemade gifts in the mail. She's always so sweet. I received my swaps today, and I don't know if it's over here. It is. So I opened them a little while ago. We do swaps through, I do them through my team, and then Deb has a page, and we do swaps on there. And I received my swaps today, and let me tell you, they are amazing. And in there was a little gift from Deb. Let me just pull this over here. So cute. And look at that, the little, you know what this is? This is to hold your, let me see if I can find one. There we go. It's to hold your liquid glue. So super cute, but I don't want to open it because this is beautiful. She always puts so much thought into all of her homemade creations. So I can't wait to put, because I have this she made me. She sent this to me, where it's just a little bit of glue in there, hot glue that holds your cap, so that you can, I had to change the paper because I used it so much. And the cap is in there, and I love this. And now I have this one, so I can put the liquid glue in there. So I'm so super excited. She's awesome. So anyways, we have, it's so cute. I love it. We do need all sorts of things to hold our glue. Let's see, the yarn. So I'm going to bring in the yarn, and I'm using Boho Blue. This is another one of my favorites. And, oh, look, it matches my nails. I did not purposely do that. So I'm going to stamp this out, and I'm going to stamp it here. Look at the detail in that. So I wonder if I said earlier about stamping it off once. Let's see how it looks. It's probably too light. Oh yeah, I like the darker one better. So we're going to die cut these two items out. And then what else do we need to stamp? Oh, we need to stamp on the inside piece. This is going to be our inside piece, basic white. And I'm going to use the Boho Blue again. So I have the Life is Better When You're Crafting. So with this one, you guys, it's crooked. I don't know if they meant it to be crooked. Look, I'll show you guys what I mean when I stamp it out. If you put it on your stamp, your block, and you stamp it, Okay, well, you really can't tell there. So anyways, this is better with you when your is kind of crooked in there. Life and crafting is kind of, if you're looking at it straight on, you guys will see when you get your stamp set. So I don't know why it's stamped so perfectly there, because I'm doing this live, that's why. So when you stamp this down, you might want to get a stamp positioning tool. One thing that I have, and I know Stampin' Up does not sell it, but I've kept mine over the years, is the Stamp-A-Majig. I love this. This is one of the best things they ever created, and I have mine. And if you guys have yours, then you know how it works. It's sort of like it's a stamp positioning tool. You take your little T and block it up to your plastic here. You stamp it down, and you take your block, press it right up against the T there, and then it stamps on the plastic. And then you can take this plastic and you can position it any way you want. So if your stamp is crooked, you can straighten it out. Say, well, I want it right there. Come in with your stamp positioner. Remove this. And I know I'm showing you something that is no longer available, but these are the things when you are shopping with Stampin' Up. These are the tools that you need to get, and you need to have them in your, oh my gosh. Every time I'm live. These are the tools, like when they're talking about different things and tools and stuff. You know, some of these things are just something that you will never part with. There we go. I don't know what happened. There we go. So that helps you get everything centered and straight. So this is really cool, and I'm sure you can get these at the craft stores, maybe online. But this was called a Stamp-A-Majig. I don't know what they're called now, but I've used that thing all the time. I know, I love keeping up all of my old, yes, the envelope board punch. That's another one Stampin' Up used to offer. I still have mine. Just things that, you know, I don't know. I love some of these tools. And then you just take your simple chamois and just wipe it clean, and that's it. You don't want to use like any of the permanent inks on this because it'll stain it. But this tool is one of those tools that once you have it, you never want to get rid of it. Amy. Sorry, Amy. It really is an awesome tool. It's like our Stamparatus. That's another awesome tool. So the Stamparatus is kind of similar, but if you're doing mass amounts of cards that you know, say you wanted to produce a whole bunch of cards, then you want to bring in your Stamparatus, which again is no longer available. But if you were lucky and bought one while they were available, then you have that. And I do use my Stamparatus a lot too, like especially when I'm doing Christmas cards or swap cards. So just tools that are crazy that you need. What else are we stamping? We are stamping, oh, so the last thing I'm going to stamp is You Inspire Me, and we are going to use Memento for that. Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a simple Stamparatus. You're right. I love that Stamp-A-Majig. So I'm going to do the You Inspire Me in the center of this stitched shaped circle here. The other thing too with that, it's like the Stamparatus, is you can keep stamping. So if you wanted, say you wanted a really dark image with whatever color, you use that positioner and then you just ink it up and, you know, stamp it a couple of times like you do with the Stamparatus. So that is it for our stamping. Let me get the card back in here so I know what I'm doing. So let's go ahead, before I do anything, let's glue this on the inside. Do I have any glue up here? I do. So I'm just going to use the Stampin' Seal. I could have used my liquid glue, but use the Stampin' Seal to glue that down. So this piece is cut 4 by 4. So it gives it a nice border. This one on the inside here, I cut 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So you can see the difference in the size of the border. So, and then, so now let's just start putting everything together. So I have my You Inspire Me. That's going to go on first. So I'm going to use, I'll use my Stampin' Seal for that, or you can use your liquid glue. So this is going to go up towards the top, right about the center or so. That looks good. And then this guy here, I'm going to use, you could use the adhesive sheets if you wanted to. So yeah, it's, oh, what did I do wrong? It's a really fun card. So this is another awesome thing I got from Deb. Thank you. It's our liquid glue in the bottle, and the top is a tip, a small pinhole type tip on there. And you just kind of squeeze it, and it's kind of like, sometimes the glue gets stuck up in the thing, but it's kind of like our pen, our fine tip glue pen. But I'm not a fan of our fine tip glue pen. I don't know. I know some people love it. I've never had luck with it. But I love this. It's got a very fine tip to it. So for these small pieces here, if you don't use your adhesive sheets, something like this is really, really helpful. And then I also like to have a pair of tweezers on hand. So this is going to go right over this. Just like that. Oops, it's a little crooked. That's what I like about that liquid glue, is you can slide it. You have a little bit of time before it settles down. Okay. So now we have our... Oh my gosh, I get use out of all your gifts. I love them. They're so thoughtful and they're so useful. So the little basket, I guess, I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal on here to glue the yarn on there. So I'm going to lay the yarn like that. And then I'm going to use dimensionals to pop it up. I just thought it would needed a little bit of dimensional on this card. So this I put on the bottom here. Now let me bring in these scissors. So when you cut these scissors out, you'll cut out 2 pieces. And then there is a little middle piece, which I have over here. I don't want to lose it. So it'll cut, you see where that circle is? It cuts another little circle out of there. So you can keep that and use that as your middle piece, which I have done here. Or you can do like I did with the brad. So I cut the silver foil paper and then just basic black. So what you're going to do is the basic black. Let me get my scissors. There's another gift from Deb. Deb, you spoiled the heck out of me, girl. What I did was, with the black, there's a little line here. You can see the line. And I just snip off that part. So you just have the handles. And then I'm going to take that little glue again. You could use probably your liquid glue on this too, but you have to just be careful because it's comes out. I just love this. You have more control on this. And again, I find a pair of tweezers works wonders. And that's just going to get glued on top. We are ride or die crafters, aren't we? Yeah, the brad is really cute. It really is a cute idea. And then again, we're going to do the same thing with the other handle here. I don't think I would do like a ton of, like, to make a card here or there, but I can't imagine doing like 50 cards with these scissors and gluing all these pieces. So then I'm just going to take and glue the scissors on top of each other and have them open a little bit. So I'm just going to put some glue right around here. Oh, you know what this is? That must be a piece of paper that I had used. So I just pulled some paper out of my stock that I have. And look at that. I have a adhesive sheet on it. Well, that's helpful. Look at that. If you don't have the adhesive sheet, then you'd have to use glue. Wow, I love when I do something I don't even realize I did. So there's the scissors. Aren't they cute? And then I'm going to just stick these right down here in the bottom. And then that little center there I had saved from the silver. I'm going to put a little dot of glue there. And I have the little center silver piece. Just going to put that in there with my Take-A-Pick tool. So this card is a little time consuming, but let's see. Aw, you guys. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Deb. You guys are awesome. I try. So here now on this side flap, I thought it would be adorable to put, oh, let me get them, the buttons and the thread over there. So I have them off to the side so I didn't lose them. So the thread, I told you guys how it cuts it out separately. So there's your spool and then there's your thread. At first when I got this, I was like, what are those? They look like teeth. I'm like, what? Did they put the wrong dye in here? Like I'm not a thread, like I don't work with thread, I don't work with yarn, so it didn't connect. And then I was looking at it and I put it on top of there and I'm like, oh, it's a spool of thread. But it took me a minute to realize what the heck it was, because it does look like teeth in here. If you guys get it, you'll see it looks like teeth. So these are just going to be glued, and I recommend, like I said, a small pair of tweezers for this. So yeah, the tools in here are so cute. Amy, you're gonna like this. I have a feeling you're gonna like this. So I just put a little dab of glue on the back, and then you can just see it goes right in the center. It's really easy to glue down. Doesn't take a It is a sweet card. It does take some time, but some people love to put a lot of detail. I love detail in my cards. I think the detail really makes the difference. But sometimes, you know, you're like, oh, I don't want to cut out 500 things. So I'm just going to glue 2 of these on because I already have one glued on. So I'll save these for later. So I have 3. So you're going to need 3 spools of thread and 3 little buttons. So now I'm just going to kind of put them over here on the edge and see how I want them lined up. The buttons too have the holes in them, so you could thread through the holes and make them look like a real button if you really wanted to go all crazy. So I'm going to just kind of get them on here before I glue them down just so I can see. So isn't that cute? I love it. All right, so then I'm just going to take my liquid glue and glue them down. I love whoever designs this stuff. Sometimes they put some great detail into what they're designing. So I ended up, I never get expedited shipping, really. Like, I did it once in the whole time that I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, because I had a card class at the library and I thought that I could pre-order something and you couldn't, and so I did the expedited shipping. So Amy was talking to me, we were chit-chatting, and she was saying how she thinks she was going to do the expedited shipping for our swaps. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, that's a good idea. Because us here on the East Coast, we wait forever for our stuff. And I know sometimes if you're not on the East Coast, you still wait a long time. But let's see. Yeah, the spools, they're so cute, you guys. So, yeah, so anyways, Amy was talking to me about expedited shipping, and I got thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to do it this time, because there's a couple of sets that I really, really wanted. So I placed my order today, and before I logged on, I got notification that my order has shipped, and it should be here by Thursday. So Amy, yours should have shipped and should be here the same time frame, I would think, because you put your order in. So super excited. I can't wait. That's crazy for a Stampin' Up! Order to get to me. I order it on Tuesday and it comes here on Thursday. Even if it comes on Friday. Whenever I order anything from Stampin' Up!, it takes a week, bare minimal. I'm trying to find my liquid glue. I don't know where the heck I put it. Where did I put it? Bare minimal. Oh, I put it way the heck over there. It takes a week, if not usually 10 days. So I can't believe 2 days. Well, I paid for 2-day shipping, so it should get here in 2 days. I know our shipping secret's out. I'm sorry. I was super excited that it shipped. Like, holy cow. So I have cut out 2 of the hearts are connected. Where are they? The die is a connected die, so it'll cut out 2 of the hearts. So I cut this out twice. And the star and flower, which I didn't use in here, that also is connected. So you'll cut them out 2 at a time. So I'm just using the liquid glue to get these little hearts on. I like the color combo on here too. The boho blue and the fresh freesia, and then the Moody Mauve. They go so well together. And then last but not least, I took some Wink of Stella, because you always need your Wink of Stella. And I just did these 2 hearts with the Wink of Stella, or the 4 hearts, I should say. I I think it's got enough detail where I don't need to do too much bling on it. And that is the card. Isn't that cute? And then I love the way it opens. It's just such a fun card. I wish I had this stamp set before I mailed out everybody's catalogs, because that would have been a great stamp set to mail to all your customers and stuff. So I hope you guys liked that one. And you guys, let me flip you guys up here. I think you guys are going to be upside down. Let's see. Yep, upside down. There we go. So that's the crafting, what is it again? Crafting with you stamp set and die bundle. Super cute. I cannot recommend that highly enough to you guys. Especially us as crafters, with all of the fun stuff that's in there. You guys will have so much fun. I had a lot of fun building the spools of thread and just trying to figure out what the heck I was going to make with it. And like I said, I'm not a yarn person or anything, so it's kind of nice to have something for the other crafters. So so if you guys don't have this set, I highly recommend it. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad you guys liked the card. It took me a little longer than normal, but the fold is super easy, so you guys can do that fold no problem. But yeah, so I'm super excited. The catalog has been released. I know you guys are all demos on here, so I know you guys are excited that our catalog has released today. And I can't wait to get my stuff and create some more stuff. So I think maybe maybe next week I'll do another giveaway. If I get a lot more people on here, I'll do a giveaway. So anyways, thank you guys so much for being here and joining me tonight and crafting with me. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys next Tuesday, right? Yeah, next Tuesday, same time, same bat channel. And you guys have a great rest of your week and happy crafting. All right, guys, I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.